What's going on, everybody? Grim Repair here. Today we're changing the rear pads, rotors, and one of the wheel studs on a Subaru Outback. If this video helps you out, be sure to give it a like.
Tools you're going to need are a 14mm wrench, 14mm socket, 3/4 to remove the lug nuts, some way to compress the brake pistons. I'm using one of these. There's a link down below if you want to get one of these. Caliper grease and brake clean. First thing we're going to do is pop the hood, pop the lid on the brake reservoir. Then we're going to jack up the vehicle, slide a jack stand underneath the car, right about there. And we're going to remove the wheel. We're going to take a 14mm and loosen up the caliper. Loosen them both before you remove them all the way. Use this because it's quicker. Slide the caliper off. We're going to take this compressor and compress the piston. Slide the pads out. Pop these clips out. Pop the new clips in. Now we're going to pull the caliper slides out. This bottom one has a rubber boot, and the top one shouldn't. I'm going to take some brake clean and spray in the bores. Give that some time to evaporate. I'm gonna wipe these off with a rag. And lube them both up with caliper grease and reinstall them. Push it back in there, twist it as you go. Make sure it's moving freely. A lot better than it was. This bottom one here is going to be a little harder to push in because of that rubber boot, but it'll go. All right, now to get the caliper mounting bracket off so we can remove the rotor, we got to come back around here, and there's a hole in the suspension that allows us to get a socket through there, and it's a 14mm. We're going to go ahead and remove the caliper mounting bracket. And it's out. We got another one up here up top. I'm gonna let the suspension hang, see if that gives us any more room. Right there, that's how you get that out. There we go. Now the rotor should come right off. Make sure you don't have your emergency brake pulled, otherwise this will be holding on to the rotor. And we got to replace this stud here, so we're going to bang it out. I'm going to see if I can spin it though. Get it over here where there's a little bit more room. Hopefully we can get it in there. All right, looks like it'll come out. Hopefully we can get the new one in. All right, it's in. Now we just got to use the lug nut to pull it through. Gonna put the rotor on there. Stick a wrench in between the two just to give it a little bit more slack to pull through. Watch it while we pull it through. There we go. It's all the way seated against the back of the hub. And that's how you replace the stud. Go ahead and put the new rotor back on. Mount that caliper bracket back up there the same way you took it off. Get them both started before you tighten them down. Keep in mind that impact only goes to 30 pounds, so I'm not going crazy on them. Since our new pads came with new slides, we're going to go ahead and replace them. Pull them off and match them up. They give you multiple different styles here, so you want to make sure you put the right ones in. And they just pop on. Slide the new pads in. Pad material goes toward the rotor. And the warning bar's got to go on the inside. There's no room for it on the outside. All right, now we're going to slide the caliper back on. Push the slide pins in. Twist them so they line up nicely with the indentation on the caliper. Like they're kind of like this. Get both of them started before you tighten them all the way down. Now we're going to put the wheel back on. and tighten it down in a crisscross pattern to the vehicle manufacturer's torque specs. I'm gonna put the lid back on the brake reservoir. Before you drive off, make sure you pump your brakes, otherwise the car won't stop. And that's it. Just do the same thing on the other side. High five, you did it.